Can you believe that she had the audacity to yell at me when I was just trying to correct her in the way she was messing up that hamburger?
Hamburgers got him acquainted with my father's daughter. That's what I say.
I'm Mikey.
Sweet pickle, sweet pickle, sweet pickle! And I'm Cris. Don't want to.
This is last time.
Do. And this is life as good as it gets. Hey guys, I am getting ready to cook up some dinner. It's not in the crock pot tonight.
Is this thing on? Get my hat straight. There you go. Hey y'all, it's me again here to tell you another story from back when Cris and I were dating.
Mikey asked me to tell you guys the infamous hamburger story from college. I think it's funny that we wait all these years to tell the stories. I think that might get some of the facts a little fuzzy, but we shall see.
And we like to call this the hamburger story.
It's ironic that I'm telling the hamburger story while cooking hamburger on my stovetop right now. We're having manwich tonight because Mama's tired and a lot has been going on today, and this is like the first moment that I've kind of even stood still. So we're gonna go with quick, easy, and delicious, and so that's what I'm gonna do. We got a little French fries here and manwiches, so that's what we're gonna have. Super fancy from your resident food blogger. I always feel weird when people catch me out in public with like a pizza sometimes, but anyhow, we all need some of those quick and easy meals sometimes. Anyhow,
this was back in spring, I think, of '97, and it was finals time again. You notice how finals come into play. It's a stressful time for a college student. They're cramming hard for all those tests, and you know, you don't eat much, you don't sleep at all, and you study.
So as the story goes, or at least my side of the story goes, that we had been dating for a while. I think this is second semester of our relationship, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It might have even been the second year, because he was living with two roommates in this apartment that was above the student ministry.
In our Baptist Student Union house, they call it Baptist Collegiate Ministries now, but they had a house across the campus, and I was one of the guys that got to rent the upstairs room. They called it the upper room.
He and his roommates and I were hanging out at his apartment, and it was finals time. So I was studying really, really hard, had all my books there. I believe, if I remember correctly, the boys were playing video games like they tended to do.
And we were all studying for finals, just cramming real hard.
So the boys were playing video games and I was studying, and my beloved love of my life asked me to make lunch for everyone. It could have been dinner, but I think it was lunch.
And we got hungry, and I thought it was one of those times where maybe I should just test the boundaries of our relationship, because if you remember before, Cris dumped me, and then I took her back in, and you know, we decided we were going to stay together, and I figured it was about time to, you know, test the engine, maybe step my foot on the pedal a little too hard and just see what happens. I looked at Cris, I said, you know, I think we're all a little hungry. We've been studying all day. Why don't you just go in there in the kitchen and make us a hamburger? And
so I agreed, and I got up and I went into the kitchen, and I was busy in there, and I was making hamburgers for everybody.
Because that's what you should tell your girlfriend to do for you and your roommates.
Now, this is where he's going to tell you that I wasn't a very good cook when we first met. And
now Cris was young and she just started learning how to cook.
You know, he thought that he was going to be doomed to a life of someone who didn't cook the way his mama cooked, which is true. I did not cook the same way his mom did. I cooked the way my mom did because that's who taught me how to cook. But then as I've gotten older, I've kind of developed my own way of cooking. And this story has never fully rang true with me because he always claims to like my mom's cooking, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyhow.
And she went to go make us a hamburger. I thought that was pretty cool.
I was busy in the kitchen. He was busy playing video games.
She's in there for a little bit in the kitchen, and I set my books down and I go in there in the kitchen.
And at some point, he decided to come in and check on the meal.
And I noticed her frying up these hamburgers. And to my horror, to my disbelief, she took a spatula.
And he witnessed me taking my spatula over top of the hamburger, one of the hamburgers, and lightly, he will say it wasn't lightly,
and she smashed one of the hamburgers.
And lightly pressing the spatula down to check to see if the hamburgers were done. Because that's what I was taught, that you would flip the hamburger, you would cook it on one side, you flip it on the other, and when you thought it was done, you would lightly press the spatula down to see if the juices ran clear. Because if the juices ran clear, then it was safe to eat.
In my house, growing up with my mama, she never smashed a hamburger. She just knew how long to cook them. I always was told that if you don't smash the hamburger, then all those juices stay in there and you got this real nice and juicy hamburger.
That was apparently not the way his mother had taught him.
Cris was taught that you smash the hamburger, and if the juices come out clear, then you know that you've cooked your hamburger long enough, and if it comes out bloody, then you cook it a little bit longer.
And so he proceeded to tell me and the entire party, his roommates, that I had ruined the hamburgers.
That's not the way it was done in my house. And so
I was getting rid of all the juiciness that was inside the hamburger. And that he just thought it was a crime against all hamburgers that I had done that.
I said, "What are you doing? You don't smash a hamburger with a spatula. That's not the way my mom makes them."
That is when he got acquainted with my father's daughter, as I say.
Can you believe that she had the audacity to yell at me when I was just trying to correct her in the way she was messing up that hamburger?
I proceeded to immediately stop cooking, and I handed him the spatula and I walked out.
Well, let's just say that didn't go over too well. She gave me what for. Oh, good Lord, did she give me what for. And she took that spatula, stuck it right in my face, and told me exactly what I could do with that hamburger.
And I'm not sure how those hamburgers completed themselves or what, but
Needless to say, I ate that hamburger and my foot and a little bit of crow.
I was not okay with a big show being made about my cooking not being what he expected in front of everyone.
So I'm going to give a little relationship advice to anybody out there that's new to a relationship. Heck, I'm going to give relationship advice to anybody who's in a relationship, ever wants to be in a relationship, has been in a relationship in a long time. Don't criticize your woman's cooking, fellas, no matter what.
So, but that's the story. I mean, I'm sure he has a version that's probably a little bit different, but my version is hamburgers got him acquainted with my father's daughter. That's what I say.
Fellas, if there's anybody out there listening to me right now, no matter what, if your woman, whether she's your girlfriend, your wife, or whatever, takes time out of her day from things that she's doing and goes to make you a hamburger, if she smashes that hamburger, it's not necessarily the best idea to tell her that's not how mom would do it. because she might end up using that spatula on you instead of the hamburger.
So as you can see, I'm not making hamburger patties right now. I'm just crumbling it all up. And anybody who knows, Mikey's not home right now, but anybody who knows Mikey, this is ironic because he doesn't like Sloppy Joe manwich out of a can. He likes it homemade. And so I'm making this in honor of this story, dear.
Since that day, I've never criticized her cooking.
Hang on just a second. I think that pepper's good.